detain former Gambian Homeland Security Minister. Authorities in Switzerland have taken into custody Ousmane Sonko, former Gambian Interior Minister and a right-hand man of erstwhile President Yaya Jammeh. A criminal complaint has been filed with Beninese prosecutors on Wednesday, which demanded the opening of an investigation on torture against Mr. Sonko. Sonko, Jammeh's longest-serving interior minister, fell apart with the brutal dictator in September and fled to Senegal. He then flew to Sweden and Spain, where his asylum applications were rejected before entering Suisse in November, and is believed to have a lot of intelligence about the operation of Jammeh's regime, including his illicit businesses. Sonko, until his arrest, has been living in an asylum center in Canton Bern. Prosecutors say his arrest in compliance with the Convention Against Torture and the Swiss criminal law. Sonko coordinated the work of a special elite paramilitary squad only answerable to Jammeh. He and members of the squad are accused of torture, killings, arbitrary detentions and crimes against the state. Former security officers implicated the former police chief and Presidential Guard commander in the killing of journalist Dida Haidara, killing of at least 40 Ghanaian migrants, and the execution of 9 inmates at the state's Mile 2 prison. Sonko has reportedly taken part in covert operations for the small nation, killing scores of perceived enemies of Jammeh's regime, including attempts on the lives of at least 2 rights lawyers and the killing of at least 14 student protesters as head of the elite Presidential Guard. As the head of detention centers, Mr. Sonko could not have ignored the large-scale torture that political opponents, journalists, and human rights defenders suffered there, said Benedict de Moalus, head of the Inquiries and Criminal Law Division at Trial International. 2 United Nations special rapporteurs conducted missions to Gambia in November 2014 to investigate allegations of torture and ill treatment, in addition to extrajudicial and unlawful killings. Both rapports issued highly critical reports stating that Gambia is characterized by widespread disregard for the rule of law, infringements of civil liberties, and the existence of a repressive state apparatus. They said they encountered an atmosphere of fear and were denied access to detention centers, including the security wing of Mile 2 prison in Banjul, where torture and killings are existent and prevalent. Sonko, who calls himself a disciple of former dictator Jammeh, oversaw the brutal crackdown by security forces on opposition protesters last spring that led to the deaths of 2 activists, including Ebremisolo Tendeng, who was tortured to death. The former minister threatened to deal seriously with anyone who is funded by the West to destabilize the Gambia. Jammeh, who lost elections last month, ceded power after a regional military force was poised to forcefully flush him. He has fled the country to Equatorial Guinea and looted the state coffers of nearly $12 million.